Dudes, I am going to strive to keep this video short. So there is an article making its presence felt on my Facebook feed by a man named Umstadt. It's about 3.5 years old, and the article, I guess, has since been turned into a book. So not cutting-edge news, but I mean, since it's showing up in my Facebook feed, I think it's very possible that a lot of my subscribers are coming across it, or have come across it. So it's about courtship. Courtship being this, well, it's a kind of a nebulous term, but it's often billed as an anti-dating, family-integrated, father-integrated, especially sort of, alternative to dating. It's a form of anti-dating, right? Because Christians have, they don't want to follow the world and how it does its things, right? Okay, whatever, fine. So this dude's thing was that he was a homeschooler back in the days when, what did he say? He said he was a homeschooler back in the days when he hid from the police and when looking for textbooks in the dumpster. Okay, well, I also am a homeschooler from that generation. We certainly hid from the police. If your parents had to search for books in the dumpster, I think that was your thing, not homeschooling things. But whatever, I remember those days. We hid from the cops too. We all lived in nervous fear. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember when I Kissed Dating Goodbye came out. And so this is where the post starts, right? With I Kissed Dating Goodbye coming out. And he, he had a best friend who read it, and then I read it. Okay. So maybe at some other time, and I've actually talked about this in other venues, but, I have a problem with Josh Harris and, his repentance, and with, what I've said before is you can't blame people for the bad books they read. They write, rather, right? People write stupid books with stupid ideas, and you read them, and you think they're great ideas, and then you do things. Right? And that's definitely, it's a big problem in a lot of communities, but it's a problem with homeschoolers, right? They find some guru, and they do what the guru says, and then they get pissed when he turns out to be, well, they get pissed if he just turns out to be fallible, but what often happens, of course, is they turn out to be abusers. Okay, fine. See, look, it's already at 2.5 minutes. I just want to say one quick thing. Here's the one quick thing I want to say, and I'm not a courtship dude, okay? I'm not a dating dude either. So whatever, but I'm not going to talk about methods. I just want you to know I'm not a courtship dude when I say this. Dude writes in his blog post that his reason for knowing that courtship has failed, just as later he sees that, his evidence that divorce is rampant among couples that practiced courtship, is that the couples that he knew who practiced courtship were getting divorced. Okay. Which is already contradictory to the thing I'm going to say, but whatever. Okay, this is what homeboy says, Umstadt. The reason he knows courtship doesn't work, get a load of this, is that none of his friends, or very few of his friends, have found a spouse. The dude must be my age. He must be 40 if he was hiding from the cops. I am 40 years old. It is unlikely that he is younger than 40, okay? His friends haven't found spouses. His friends have never been married, and in fact, some of them struggle with bitterness. I didn't quite pick up, and I didn't do the research to see if he was married, but it sure seemed like he wasn't married either, right? That he was in that group that hasn't found a spouse. Okay, look, if your entire group of little homeschooling friends failed to find a wife, dude, your friends were idiots. That's as baldly as I can put it. You're still not married, and I'm not talking to you, Umstadt. I'm talking about the theoretical ones who are your friends. If one is still not married, after 20 years, the problem is not doink, doink, courtship, right? You are the problem. However you slice it. I could keep talking about this. I'm gonna stop. Leave some comments, ask some questions. Maybe I'll do sequels. I already have so many promised sequels. I guess the moral is, don't be a doofus. Read a book and be wise. Be wise. Be wise. All right. And if you want a wife, go find you a wife. All right. Peace of Christ.